If you have been watching this series of videos I've been doing and you know about the street art and graffiti scene in Bristol, you've been probably saying each week, where is Inky? Well, his time has come. He is the godfather letter writer in Bristol who has been in these streets and making them more colourful for generations. I wanted to do him sooner and he's one of the first people I wanted to cover, but I waited to collect the footage I wanted and I'm super glad because I wanted to make it a banger of a video. He has achieved massive success in these streets and indoors too, but in the video I'll be focusing on his street career, not his career with say Sega or Xbox or teaching graphic design in colleges. For me, I fully rate and respect this guy because my background is letter writing and he's the perfect example of making it in life with his vocation. I was lucky enough to briefly speak with him and better yet get a fist bump from him, meaning the same hand as bumped hands with him and Immortal Technique. And I gotta admit, I went super shy. I seemed to be elevating these people to like godlike status. But yeah, when I was around him, I was very, very coy. I was very like, ugh. I've done stand-up comedy, like open mics and set up nights. So like, it's funny what will make you kind of go shy, let's say. Anyway, let's dive into the video and subscribe if you haven't for plenty more videos. My next upload will be a broader look and an in-depth look at the whole of the Bristol graffiti scene without street art. And later, I will cover the street art scene without graffiti. I feel it's the best way to pay respect to everyone by splitting the two. When I went to the Dare to Club Graph Jam, I got to see Inky in his element and some of his process. I will include interviews below in the description where he's given permission and been in front of camera. I imagine if I asked him he would have been cool, but I didn't ask, and I will always protect the privacy of people, always. And at the jam I got to see him laughing, which was so dope, and he spends a lot of time in London, but this year he's been in Bristol quite a lot, and it shows within this video, and it's been a very busy year. He's held and been involved in numerous exhibitions inside of Bristol and around the globe. The biggest and my favourite has to be the See No Evil Gallery on Nelson Street. He in an interview pointed out that Nelson Street was where the old courts were in Bristol, the place he faced after being arrested in, you guessed it, Operation Anderson. You see why he's so authentic? From an illegal letter writer in the 80s to working with the council to transform, as he calls it, one of the ugliest streets in Bristol that was responsible for locking kids like him up. Bristolians that graffiti always tend to know Inky, and he has a Dave Chappelle kind of vibe of the graffiti world, I think. And of course he does do more than letters. The next one is a super big vibe for me because he went to Africa to teach kids to spray. From Barton Hill to Tanzania with a can. When it comes to Bristol culture, Inky is a huge export. Inky's done more for Bristol than Brunel. Change my mind in the comments below. Talented, travelled, funny, skilled, humane, and he probably has a massive dong as well. And he got his name, Inky, for two reasons. One, he used to carry a lot of pens around and of course the ink, but also he's into retro gaming and specifically Pac-Man, and I believe the blue ghost is called Inky. Lettering is his calling, but like I said, it's a bit unfair to pigeonhole him, however stunning it may be. Some would be left in awe. The proportions are god level, the colouring too, the actual shape of the letters is clear but technical, the shading is on point, and the crew shoutouts are incredible. For me, this is exactly where it's at. It's perfect and precise regardless of the scale. From edges to curves, no matter where in Bristol a new piece gets up, I have to grab my bike and start pedaling, for sure. He is the creator of a medium called Ink Noir, which is spray paint, liquid leaf and acrylic all blended together to make a really funky piece. His influences include Islamic geography, Mayan architecture and plus more, but if you know history and style, you might start seeing what I'm talking about. These letters here are more than dope. Honestly, it was the second best pink thing in the whole world you could have shown me. The Pink Panther is so well done that Metro Goldwyn Mayer Films, who own the copyright, will probably send a cease and desist letter for copyright infringement on this video. I feel like Inky is a great start at decoding graffiti too, because of his style. He makes it easy or simple, but like I said about proportions earlier, It just makes it maybe an easier way to decode. Honestly, shout out to Dare to Club and also the Raw Clan for putting on the jam. It was incredible. In the video, it's varied placements for his pieces, from buildings, shutters, walls and pubs, which is good because it shows off the texture between pieces and also in different areas of Bristol too. The piece that this area is in right now is Dean Lane Skate Park, and again I feel like that's one of the most authentic areas for graffiti, and it definitely is a spot for Inky to come and do a piece. So this is in Dean Lane and it's quite close to where I live, which is convenient for me. But there is one thing about Dean Lane I like saying: there ain't nothing meaner than the Deaner. I really like all the products on his website, but I think the most apt currently would have to be the Snud. Obviously it's the most appropriate. It's out of stock currently, but I will be waiting and getting myself one. And there's a lot of different prints, and there's something for everybody. And there's a personalised name option too. And you know what? I'm 420% sure that this has to be a wheat leaf. Bruh, come on. The app I use the most, or the social media I use the most, is Insta, and I do see a lot of his stuff on Insta, so be sure to follow. His Insta's in the description below. And you see some other fun stuff, like when he took part in a digital wall spray in Cheltenham. It's kind of funky, and I think like he said in the post, it's the first of its kind, which, hey, pioneer, man. Continually learning on this journey through Bristol's graffiti and street art world, and one thing is reinforced is that Inky is the godfather. Masterful excellence projects out of every can he picks up, improving Bristol by many levels. It has been great covering this guy because of all the pieces I've got to see. This is one guy on Reddit who asked me the other week if I felt inspired after I posted a photo, but if anything has inspired me, it's this gentleman here. Molotov, here I come. I need some greens and purples. Please be ready. I can't make a piece as great as this, but I can try and make him proud by spraying and improving Bristol. Legally. I said to him at the jam that he has been busy this year, and he said and smiled, anything that keeps me out of trouble. Like I said, authenticity and integrity with a can. Thanks for watching the video, and like and subscribe if you haven't. Don't forget, go and follow Inky on all his socials because it will light up your timeline. Cheers guys.